You just want to roll?
I'm dead inside. Still. For many different reasons.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upside alert. Upside alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach.
That is the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 100, our centennial episode here of Birds vs. Boys. I think I used that word correctly, not sure, but Aidan will let me know when he joins us. I think he's in the bathroom or doing something. He's just not on screen right now, so I'll just hold it here, even though I am the one who is heartbroken. I am the one who's distraught. I'm the one that is destroyed, but I think Aidan's ready for us. So like I said, episode 100 of Birds vs. Boys. We've made it this far. Absolutely incredible. I can't believe it. We'll get into that. But Aidan, would you like to join us? I know it's glad you're frozen.
For you.
Like a pussy little bitch. That was the worst. You know what the worst part about that? You know what the worst part about the whole thing is? I've watched that video about 143 times because I love it. All right, Aidan's dead.
Does it sound familiar?
Yeah, I've watched it 50 times this week because I love it. It
is the coolest thing of all time. Welcome to episode 100.
It's the second coolest thing because the coolest one was when they came in like that against the Rams at their home stadium and it was all red. That was when their whole season turned around.
Yeah, that's when my fantasy season turned around because all they did was throw it to Debo all night.
You think if they make it to the Super Bowl, Kodak Black will be there walking out with them, holding the boombox?
100%. Like, yes. I also saw a tweet today. If the Bucs make it, they have to come out to Pit Not the Palace by Antonio Brown. Because that would just be fantastic.
Oh, of course that's how you would enter our 100th episode after what happened this past week. I apologize to everybody that this episode's coming out on Friday, not Thursday. I was just too distraught still on Wednesday night to record. So now here we are on Thursday night recording. Yeah, it's funny because I'm so, and we'll get into all this. I'm so distraught and I'm so angry and I'm so broken, but not for 1 second am I surprised. Not for a second.
I'm ecstatic. I'm glad to be here.
Even the way it ended, I was just like, okay, yeah, it's perfect.
I think I've been laughing for 4 days straight. You cannot. First of all, as a podcast, welcome to episode 100. I don't think I'd have it any other way than having this milestone episode and then having to discuss both of our team's seasons ending. The way this podcast has gone for 2 years, that was the perfect episode 100 to be like, oh, we did it. 100 episodes. Great job by everybody involved. And what should we talk about tonight? Our team's failures.
We're dead. And failing in 2 completely different ways.
Yeah.
Did you see my Twitter bio, my header that I made?
Oh, the fans?
Aidan, or Vince, have you seen it? That's the top of my Twitter.
How about that one guy? We're running up the numbers on that one tweet. How about that guy? One of those fans who's crying, that's his side chick. And the real girl was like, she said it was a guy's weekend. And then he's on national TV and they're crying over the Cowboys.
It's just perfect.
I can't wait to dive into this game. I said it. I wrote about it. This was my favorite Cowboys loss of all time outside of like when they played the Eagles. This was chef's kiss. I was over the Eagles' loss in 3 hours. This was just fantastic. I'm excited to dive into it tonight. I don't even think we need technical notes. Here's your technical notes. We did 100 episodes together, and not once were we ever mean to each other. This Cowboys game was so bad, I might come off a little mean tonight. We've got a great TikTok for you.
Speaking of not being mean, though, like I gotta give a shout out to my wife. She was genuinely like sad for me, and she was like, "We watched the Eagles game together, just the two of us." I was very, it's okay. Maybe they can come. I was very nice during the whole thing, not rooting, and then she left me in the basement alone. Like, you're not watching. She knew. She's like, I'm not gonna be anywhere near. And then I was in the basement. She was on our third floor in the bedroom, and she's like, I can hear you like screaming, and it's like happy, sad, happy. What, mad, angry, happy. And I'm like, she's like, what is that? And that was at the point where like Kittle caught it and they fumbled it and they got it back, but then they showed the replay and it touched the ground. I was like, yeah, fuck. Like all just
the whole roller coaster of emotions. That's why it's so great when our teams are good, because you get the playoff emotions, and getting to talk about playoff emotions. Like, it's fun to talk about football.
Were either if our team's good though, or were they just fraud good?
They were good. They weren't great. Good. I think that's my theme of tonight is the Eagles are good. They're not great.
I think we're both frauds.
Just not a Super Bowl contender. I don't think
the
we're
NFC
frauds.
makes us frauds.
I don't think that we were that good. I think everybody we were a 7 seed, so I don't think anyone expected us to compete for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Philly had that. We'll start with the Eagles game, but there was definitely that like, oh, it's Tom Brady again. Dog masks. Here we go, Tampa.
Yeah, that was gone about the first quarter. I think we can wrap this game up in about 5 minutes. It honestly wasn't exciting.
No,
it wasn't that thrilling.
No.
It didn't have many like benchmark moments.
No,
like the Cowboys game did. It just they were just better than we are. There aren't many times in life. We talked about it before in the playoffs. It usually comes down to about 2 or 3 plays.
Yep.
No, they were just better than we were.
And they were losing linemen. And
I know.
Still better.
This week, I'm a little bit worried about them.
Yeah. Oh, without it, the way the Rams rolled.
And just obviously Aaron Donald is an alien playing defensive line, and now their best offensive lineman is hurt.
And all of a sudden Von Miller's come to life.
Yeah. The Rams plan is all coming to fruition, and I don't know about the Bucs, but that'll be a better matchup than we were. So I think like boiling it down for the Eagles, we don't have to spend too much time on this game. We were a good team. They were a great team. Mm-hmm. Like you can see the foundational pieces for us, which is really nice. They are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And there was a difference. There is a legit difference.
And imagine if Wirfs didn't get hurt, if they had Leonard Fournette, if they had AB, and if they had oh my God, why am I blanking? Godwin.
I did think I was very impressed that they were like, okay, we're down our 2 best receivers. Oh, here's 9 catches from Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a good sign.
On Darius Slay, a lot of them.
They actually did a good job though. They were like putting him in the slot and just like
moving him around.
They were moving him, just be like, all right, how can we get him away from Darius Slay?
But he did have a couple. He had the touchdown on Slay, didn't he?
I think so. He did. He only had 3 targets when Darius Slay covered him, but he caught all 3. Or no. I'm sorry, that's not true. He was like 3 for 5 because Darius Slay like had the pass breakup in the end zone and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did because I remember the finger.
Yeah, but that's like everything, like the offseason goal. I'm a lot happier this year going into the offseason than obviously last year, where you're just like, this is an embarrassment. You have no idea what direction the franchise is going at quarterback, coach, a coaching staff, front office, like nothing. And now like there's clear goals. Like there's the benchmarks that you've hit and benchmarks that you still need to hit. And that's a perfect example. Like Darius Slay is an obvious CB1. Yep. And Avonte Maddox is good in the slot, but you need a CB2 and you need better safety. So it's like, all right, we did something good, but we still need to build on that, which is nice to be in that position. And you know what you need to do. Like you saw the answers on the test. That Bucs team is the answers on the test. Like that is what you should look like.
Kelce, Cox, either of them coming back, both of them gone, one back, one gone.
Cox back. I don't know about Kelce. Really don't. It felt like in the speeches that he gave this year and how emotional he got every time he talked that he seemed like a guy who realized that this is probably it. And we'll get into draft talk, but the kid from Iowa, Tyler Lindenbaum.
That's his comp.
I was about to say he just looks like Jason Kelce. So
he is. Yeah.
That's like the thing. It's like, okay, like Mulata worked and Landon Dickerson worked, and you have Lane Johnson. So it's like, okay, let's and you'll get Isaac Sayamalu back. So you're like, all right,
Brandon Brooks going to retire or come back.
I'm pretty sure he's going to retire, which is sad because, it's just injuries and stuff like that. So then you say to yourself, okay, is Kelce coming back? No. All right, let's plug the hole. It's like, did you take accounting class?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how you'd start at the top and it would be step by step by step. And after a while, you'd see like, okay, I can see how this balances out to zero, which is the goal of every single problem.
Yep.
We just need to get there.
Yep.
We're at the point like
you
last
need to
year,
hit every step.
I was like, we are thousands of dollars in debt. I cannot figure how to balance this out.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm like, all right, the funds are starting to balance. I can get this back to zero. Here's what we need to do.
Yep.
So I'm good there. The problem that everyone's going to talk about, Jalen Hurts looked terrible. That was awful. That was bad. There was no way around it. That was bad. The clip of the defensive coordinator or the secondary coach for the Bucs saying this kid can't read is probably bad.
Yeah.
My hope is that was his first playoff game. That was one of the best defenses that he's seen. He'll learn, but it's going to take some time. I think he'll be back next year. We'll do 5 months of Russell Wilson.
All right. Well, here we go. Yeah. All right. I have a quick game for you that I created. It's called Jalen Or.
Okay.
We don't have to dive into depth. Just a quick game because obviously we'll have months to do this. Jalen or Russell Wilson.
Jalen.
Unlimited.
Probably Jalen Hurts. Depends. There's a lot of dependence on that, though. I like Russell Wilson. If I could get Russell Wilson for the right price, then yes. But if I had to give up all 3 first-round picks, then no. That's the
Jalen or Jimmy G.
Jalen
or Deshaun Watson.
Jalen. Deshaun Watson was my favorite quarterback in the league before Herbert existed, but you can't trust like those allegations.
Jalen or
we've talked about it.
Yeah,
it's not 1. It's
22. Yeah. Jalen or Tua.
Ooh. Nick Saban literally had to do this.
Yeah.
Probably Jalen. I'm not that sold on Tua.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's Russell Wilson or bust.
All right, I got one more. I got 2 more. Jalen or Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that's easy. Jalen or draft Pickett.
Ooh, that's a great one. That is a great one. I think the city would really like Pickett. Probably Jalen. That I think will do a lot of.
Yeah, I can't wait for this offseason.
Yeah, draft talk. We'll have to like go into our deep dive of YouTube videos.
Yep, 100%.
And watch Kenny Pickett. But
I just wanted to set the stage.
Yeah,
Jalen or
that's good. If you ask me, Jalen Reagor or Hitler, I don't know what answer I would give you at this point. Jalen Reagor or Bin Laden, I don't know. It would take $10 million to cut that guy over 2 years. I don't see how you don't do it. Like, is there a way? Like,
is there a team that will? I mean, if someone gives you a 7, like a half a 7, you have to give it to him, right? Half a 7. Like we'll draft a guy and you can have him like half the year, and then we'll take him the other half of the year, and you get Jalen.
I would do anything. I would attach a pick to get rid of him for someone to take him. He is a bona fide loser.
Would you give up Jalen and a 5 for a 7?
Yes, 1,000%. If you could clear his contract, he is useless.
Yeah,
like there's no redeeming quality. JJ Arcega-Whiteside stinks out loud.
Yeah, he's the enforcer.
Yeah, the enforcer. Come on. But at least he has like 2 redeeming qualities, which aren't exactly the qualities you want in your 2nd round pick. But he did play special teams well and did block well. Jalen Reagor has no redeeming qualities. He sucks in every position that you will put him in. I talked about this on the reaction show. he can't be the reliable wide receiver 2 across from Devontae Smith. He's not the deep threat like Quez Watkins. And he's also a minus on special teams because he's not a good returner and also fumbles the ball. He is useless.
First round pick over Justin Jefferson.
And it's not just like if Justin Jefferson never existed, he would still be
suck, of course.
He would still be one of the biggest busts in history. Reuben Frank wrote this thing. Like, of all statistically categorized players, wide receiver wise, he's the 3rd worst rated receiver ever drafted in the first round. Like, production wise over their first 2 years. Like, it's not being bad at drafting. It's being like the worst drafters possible in that situation. Like, that was franchise altering him and Arcega-Whiteside.
And I think the front office and the coaching staff knows the vibe of the city, heard all the boos this year, and they're like, how do we bring this guy back?
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be mentally broken too.
Yeah. The only way he could be back is they don't want to unload the $10 million that they have to pay him. But who cares? Like, I honestly just like get him away from the team.
Schmalin Schmeger. That's
one of the plans this offseason, target Allen Robinson, try to trade for Calvin Ridley, all of these things.
Devontae Adams likes Darius Slay. All of a sudden, he's coming to Philly.
Love that. I need Aaron Rodgers to go to San Francisco, wherever the hell he wants to go, so we can get Devontae Adams.
We can get both of them.
Oh yeah. We'd be Super Bowl contenders like that.
I might just end it if that happened. I might just end my life.
Oh my God, I would be so that'd be hilarious. Just
goodbye,
end up
future baby.
with Devontae Adams.
I love you.
Oh man, how about that? Devontae Adams and Devontae Smith. I think I'd just cry myself to sleep, tears of joy every night.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like the goals are laid out. My biggest one is speed. It felt like there were 15 guys on the field on defense for the Bucs. It was nuts. So I want to get fast. I want a wide receiver across from Devontae Smith. Find out what's going on with Kelce. Improve your defensive end and help Darius Slay on the back end. Clear goals. Let's do it. Sucks that the season's over, but you clearly overachieved. You were way better than all of the bad teams, but you clearly weren't as good as the great teams. That's where you stand. So you can build on that.
So
end of season.
0-8, right, against teams with winning records this season?
Yes, which is not good. But I'll say this. People always talk about that. They had a last place schedule, and they beat the crap out of like every bad team.
Yep.
You know, like they killed the Lions, they killed the Jets. They had big wins over the Saints and the Broncos that weren't even close, and those are middling teams. So
imagine losing to Joe Judge, though. Imagine losing to Joe Judge.
That did suck. But then at least they made up for it and blew the doors off them.
Yep.
So listen, they were supposed to be the team getting their doors blown off all year by everybody, and they weren't. So just build on that. Season over. Better season than expected. Excited for the future. We'll see where we go from here. Going to be a exciting offseason one way or another.
Yeah, 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round picks. Should have a good amount of cap space depending on, if you get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, there goes your cap space. But we'll see. Like there's so many options. It'll give us a lot of talking points throughout the offseason.
You know who doesn't have cap space? Me. Because we have a $30 million blocking specialist.
Let's get into that. All right. Enough with the Eagles. This is the game that we want to talk about with the Cowboys.
No, we don't want to talk about it.
We do. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm sure you have a lot of rants, a lot of thoughts, a lot of where do we go from here's. But before we do, we knew that you were blue. We knew that you were down. So Vince and I cooked up a little something that might cheer you up.
Oh, God.
We made a little video for you to kind of, help you feel a little bit better about the situation. Everybody who's listening via podcast instead of YouTube, just hang with us for a second. I think you'll get the gist of it, even listening. But Vince, if you could help our good friend out here and just bring something up for him.
Please no.
But he's saying the Cowboys haven't seen a player like Deebo Samuel all season. Well, guess what? The 49ers haven't seen a player like Micah Parsons all season. I'm sick and tired of it. All damn week, everybody's saying Cowboys don't stand a chance. Cowboys haven't won anything since 95. That doesn't mean anything. All of that's out the window. The Cowboys have heard all
The
the
one
national
time I took a stand on
all
something
week.
hard.
The
and went
defense
hard.
is going to make Jimmy Garoppolo play in this game, which means he has no chance.
Did it cheer you up?
The one time I was overconfident and just boisterous and went at it hard, that happened. I had people. Oh, have you seen the people on Twitter coming at me?
No.
Hard. Oh, 49ers fans have been all over me.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh God, yeah.
Do they know that you complain about the Cowboys like you're kind of self-aware?
I did make friends with one guy because he like came at me after, and I just tweeted like the Chris Farley thing when he's like this. When he's like, that's fair.
Boy. Well, thank you, Vince, for helping.
Yeah, appreciate that, Vince.
Yeah,
thank you. Made me
just
cheer.
wanted to make you feel a little bit better.
So chipper, happy.
I feel bad because the intro before we started recording, I was like, I'm gonna be off to the side. It's something special for the 100th episode.
I know. As soon as I stood, well, I was like this. I saw you like go to press something. Like this. Yep, I know what's happening.
Vince and I were both late in the studio because we were in the other studio making sure the video worked and the intro worked.
You guys are such assholes. All right, let's get into this. The game was over before it started because I don't know if you saw live on CBS. Like they showed they didn't show the Niners walking like the video that's being shown now, like right from their locker room, but they kind of showed them close to the field, and I saw the boombox guy, and I was like, "Oh no, they brought the boombox guy," and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then they like ran out on the field, and then they showed the Cowboys, and they were like walking out of their locker room, and they were just like all looking around, like they were on like a tour of the White House, and they didn't know like where to go, and they were like waiting for the tour guide, and like Zeke was like, "Yeah, we got to go this way." I'm like, "Okay," and I was like, "What?" Like they look like disheveled douchebags. Like they had like there was no order, there was no like you saw it was Debo up front leading the pack. Those guys like Arden Key was rapping his ass off. Like they were just, and all the other guys behind him, like it was an army going to war. Cowboys were just like, when's the field? Do we get apple juice on the field trip? Like they were just like, what are we? They're waiting for the school bus to get on to go to Planet Hollywood. It was fucking unbelievable. And then Mike McCarthy comes out during his end of season press conference and was like, yep, think we were a little nervous. Felt it there in the team prayer. And then you look over at the fucking Niners and they're fucking super gremlins. Great.
Yeah, they went super gremlin, and Jimmy G like ran out on the field and was screaming and pumping his fists, and they had that on CBS.
Did you see the one part in the video? I think I sent it like cut out to you guys where Debo's and he was like, what does he say? I don't, but like Jimmy was like doing like the hand motion too, and I was like, oh
yeah,
fuck.
He was ready to go. He was ready to go. It happened literally first. You're right. The game was though, because the first drive of the game, they did everything that everyone said you couldn't let them do. They had great balance on the run. Yep. You know, they got Debo involved right away. It was precision, rhythmic throws for Jimmy G to get him kind of comfortable, which is what he needs, like pre-planned stuff. And they just went right down the field. Yep. It was 7-0, and it was just like, that is why people were worried about playing 49ers. Like it happened within 4 minutes.
And when it was as soon as it was 7-0, and as soon as that drive happened, I was gonna text you guys, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this right now. But I was ready to bet every penny I own on a live bet for the Cowboys to go 3-and-out on the next drive, because that's just what they do, and that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and as soon as you saw them go 3-and-out there, it's like, here we go. But it was always like, I was like, when it was 7-0, 10-0, and then the defense, after the first drive, the defense stepped up and held them to field goals until the Debo touchdown at the end. But they started doing their job, even though, you know, Micah looked gassed from having COVID the week before. He was getting held constantly. The amount of, and speaking of game over before it started, first play of the game, what happened? You remember?
It was a neutral zone infraction.
Randy Gregory.
I have a rant ready to go on that whole thing.
So, you know, the defense started playing well after the first drive. Like I said, holding the field goals, getting off the field. So in my mind, I was like, they're not going to get blown out. Like this is going to be a typical Cowboys game where they're going to get back into this somehow. They're going to do the old part from Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. That's what they do. They don't just let you die, right? They give you some CPR. They give you some air, some life. I think I even tweeted the Undertaker emoji that they're coming back to life, and then they kill you.
Yes.
And
Like getting revived in Call of Duty and then immediately just getting shot again.
Yes. Yep. But not even getting shot in the head. It's then you get shot in the leg and you bleed out.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct. So it was the 49ers scored on their first 4 possessions, which is all going to tie into my main points for today. But they ran the ball well in the first half. They got Debo involved. Brandon Ayuk got involved. It must be nice to have your first-round receiver in that draft work out. How are you feeling? It's 16-7 at halftime. They're holding them to field goals, but they're still scoring. It's 16-7 at half. Thoughts?
16-7 and a half. My initial thought is I'm extremely angry at the fact that they had a chance to do the old Bill Belichick special, score going in, score going out of the half because they were getting the ball at halftime. So I was going into the half. I'm like, all right, here we go. They're statistically one of the best teams all season long on scoring at the end of the half within 2 minutes. One of the best offenses in the league. So they have the ball. I'm like, all right, they score here. Even if they get a field goal, then they're only down 6, right? It was 16-10 it would have been. I'm good with that. And then they do nothing. So I'm completely livid. And I am then starting to get deflated. Like, I think this is going to be the same offense that came out to start the game, and they're going to go 3 and out after the half because that's just what they do.
And what did they do on their first drive?
They went 3 and out.
And what happened on that caused them to go 3 and out?
Penalties and penalties.
Back-to-back false starts.
Yep, it was 3rd and 4. False start.
3rd and 9. False
False start.
3rd and 14.
And then incomplete. And then what happened?
Then the punter got hit.
Exactly. And they got life again. And they did nothing with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the extent right there of the 14 penalties. They had, so Mike McCarthy was talking about this too. They had 8 second and 10s or second and 10 plus in this game, and 4 second and 20s. That just shows you what they did on first down.
That's really bad. That's really bad.
Nothing.
When you get a holding penalty, you just repeat the down. So the fact that you were at 2nd and 20 is very bad. But the fact that you brought up the penalties, I'll just bring up my biggest rant now. You have to be a huge fucking loser to blame that game on the referees and Mike McCarthy. Hey, I'll get into Dak's comments, but Mike McCarthy saying, I thought that they were going to let them play. They did. All of these were pre-snap penalties. They started the game with a neutral zone infraction. They had, like we just talked about, back-to-back false starts to start the half. Randy Gregory had just like an egregious hold for no reason on what we thought was going to be the game-ending first down. It just like, it wasn't that they didn't let them play. They just did stupid pre-snap stuff and just like bonehead plays and lack of attention to detail. It wasn't like they were calling Trayvon Diggs for illegal contact because he was too aggressive at the line with Ayuk and Samuel. That wasn't it.
No. Yeah.
That wasn't the problem.
I think the Niners staff must have alerted this crew to watch for those holds, because you never see defensive holding, especially twice in a game on run plays like that. And if you watch the tape broken down, which I have multiple times because I'm a loser, it was happening all game. Randy Gregory could have been called 6 times for defensive holding in this game. He was just tackling offensive linemen like they were ball carriers.
And they must have told him, like, because I know, like, run scheme is so important to the 49ers. And just everyone is just be where your assignment tells you to be. And if Randy Gregory holds you, you're not going to be in the place that you need you to be. And Kyle Shanahan is very adamant, like, you need to be in this position at this time, and this play will work. And if you can't figure it out, I'll find somebody else. They were probably holding, thinking, now we're going to just beat them to the spot by just holding them. But it was just like stupid stuff like that. And it's not like one game and, this crew called too many like pass interferences because Trayvon Diggs got beat or something like that. That wasn't it at all. And this has been like a thing all season where they're always getting penalized. And it was just a bunch of pre-snap, lack of attention to detail. And then your franchise quarterback comes out and says, oh, well, it's a good thing that they hit the ref with bottles and stuff. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Are we watching the same game?
No, because they're not watching it. They're playing it.
It's just like,
it's absurd. It's ridiculous.
Accountability. It's like accountability, and it starts with Mike McCarthy.
And that's why I want him gone, because there is no accountability.
He should be.
100%. He had 13 years of a combined Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and he had one Super Bowl appearance. One win, I'll give him that. And then he went into this dark cave and made a cool video for ESPN, and Jay Glazer helped him literally get this interview with the Cowboys. And I'll remind everybody right now, the Cowboys interviewed Mike McCarthy and Marvin Lewis.
And they legally they had to interview Marvin Lewis.
That's the list. Do I want them to fire Mike McCarthy to keep Kellen Moore? Absolutely not. Do I want them to fire McCarthy and keep Dan Quinn? I don't know, because we saw what Dan Quinn was as a head coach in Atlanta. I think he's a great leader of men. I really do. I think he gets the best out of his players. I think a little bit of the defense was luck this year with the amount of turnovers. I know they coach turnovers, but turnovers are also somewhat luck. So that made the defense look a little bit better than they were this year. The guy I want, it's obvious. I want Sean Payton. And I think they're going to keep Mike McCarthy this year, and then they're going to fire him next year, and then they're going to get Sean Payton once he's out of his contract, because that's Jerry's guy. That's who he wants to bring in.
We always struggle with Sean Payton. That would be a great hire by you. The thing with Mike McCarthy, you brought up the other two guys. So Dan Quinn did a great job with this defense. I think the head coaching thing, I know he's interviewing. I just think he's a really good defensive coordinator.
He is.
I don't know if he's a great head coach, but he is a great defensive coordinator.
Denver. He'll be in Denver by next week.
Please hire Jonathan Cannon instead.
No,
take him and beat him.
But because the GM in Denver is very tight with Quinn. There, so he's going to end up in Denver.
We'll see, but I think he is just a born natural defensive coordinator. So he has full reign over that defense. Kellen Moore calls the plays. So Mike McCarthy is your game manager, player management, clock management. It's like the scene you posted it for Reagor the other day, but you can post it for Mike McCarthy from the movie when they're like doing the job interview things. They're like, what is it that you do here? Mm-hmm. Because Dan Quinn runs the offense and Kellen Moore calls the plays. What is your job, Mike McCarthy, if the team is getting 14 penalties in a playoff game and you're the head coach and you don't call plays on either side? Jonathan Gannon could go to the Texans.
The Texans are fucking interviewing everybody, okay? They just interviewed Josh McCown for their head coaching job. Literally.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great hire. But yeah, so like
Josh McCown is a head coach? Not yet.
The fact that McCarthy though, like him coming back, it's just like insane. It's just like it's the scene in It's Always Sunny when Mac and Dennis are going through everyone's roles at the bar and pretty much like giving them a job evaluation. And Charlie like goes through all of his roles and duties at the bar, and all of them are counterproductive. And he's like, I take out the trash. And then I burn the trash so the bar has that good trash smell. No. And then I turn on the sign, the blue sign that says the ice cold Coors Light. So everyone knows we have Coors Light. And they're like, Charlie, that doesn't say Coors Light. That says closed. You're lighting up the sign that says closed. That's Mike McCarthy. He does all of these things, and they're all counterproductive to the success of the team. He lets them run that trick special teams play. And then he keeps the special teams on the field, and they get a delay a game. Everything he does is counterproductive.
That's on Mike McCarthy because that was Bones Fossil that makes that call. You could see John Fossil holding the offense back. McCarthy gives him way too much poise and power. So that's where McCarthy should have just stepped in immediately and said, offense out there now. Like there's no, like they tried to get cute because Arizona did that to them. And they had to burn a penalty. They tried to get cute. It was absolutely asinine. The thing on top of all that with McCarthy, because I agree 100% with the lack of preparation, even though he preaches every week on the radio that this is one of the most prepared teams, and this was one of the most focused teams he's ever coached, and one of the most detail-oriented teams he's ever coached. Okay. The thing that really got me this year with him is he's an offensive guy, correct? Called his plays in Green Bay. No, I'm just saying, even if you don't believe in his offense, he's an offensive guy. He's not. He's called plays in Green Bay. He's an offensive mind. Kellen Moore, third-year OC. You really saw mid-year the offense start to struggle, and Kellen Moore start to struggle because Kellen Moore is a great play call. He's got a bunch of plays. He's a play designer. He's not a good offensive coordinator. He doesn't have an offense like Kyle Shanahan does to fall back on when things don't work. When the run game wasn't working, he didn't know what to do. When there was too high safeties, he didn't know what to do. Kyle Shanahan has progressions, right? We're going to run this play. Motion man. We're going to hand it off. Next time, we're going to run that same play. Motion man's going to get it. Next time, we're going to run that same play. The motion man's going to go off, and the fullback's going to get it up here. Next time, we're going to run all – he has progressions. Kellen Moore doesn't have that. He just has a bag of plays. He's literally like a guy. I think he just sits there and just draws X's and O's and like, yep, like that. Okay, yep, like that. But none of them add up together. They're just like, okay, cool. We got a bunch of fucking plays. And once you saw this happening, Kellen Moore struggling, the offensive struggling, it should have been Mike McCarthy to step in there and try and help him. Try and mentor him. Be like, listen, when things happen like this, I've had success doing this. When I was in Green Bay, our running game struggled. We kind of did that. And he admitted he didn't do that. He's like, nope, Kellen runs the offense, and I sit in there, I see what's happening, but it's his offense. Ben McAdoo did more helping Kellen Moore. Actually, apparently Ben McAdoo was like the defensive scout this year. He helped Dan Quinn big time. He would scout the opposing offenses and tell Quinn what they were going to do. But yeah, you're the CEO of the franchise, but all the CEO things like suck. Remember the Chargers game where like, we couldn't see the clock.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are problems that have been going on since September, and then we're at the end, and they're like, oh, well, the ref didn't sprint hard enough when we ran a QB draw with 14 seconds left and no timeouts. Like, that is your reasoning for why you're not playing the Buccaneers this weekend? Like, that's it? Like, that is what you're going with.
I'm
like,
not killing that play call. Now, the more I look at it, it's on Dak. He needed to get down
sooner.
5 yards earlier, pick up the ball. Like it's funny too, because they say they practice this.
Yeah.
And it's a planned play, but they looked like they had no fucking idea what they were doing.
They say it's a planned play.
Which Kellen Moore called it in. They said.
Yes. And again, so Kellen Moore, like, you had 7 points at halftime. The offense wasn't working. You're the play caller. Like, Mike McCarthy's getting killed, and rightfully should be. But Kellen Moore, you had 7 points at halftime. The offense
in the third quarter, Malik Turner, 1 catch. CeeDee Lamb, no catches.
Yep. And then you had 7 points at the end of the third quarter, I think. It's just, come on, man. And then you call that at the end, like, everyone. This is a great game because you say who's to blame the most, and like anybody, and you could be like, yep. That's true.
Dak played terrible. Offensive line was horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
After Nick Bosa got hurt, which is even more glaring.
And then after Fred Warner got hurt. The Dallas Cowboys got the ball back. Down 6 points. I'm so sick of hearing about the final fucking play. And they should have done this. Guess what? The fucking game was lost way before the final play. You're lucky you even had that shot to begin with the whole Deebo Samuel and the. First of all, you were in the game because Kyle Shanahan let you stay in the game, being not aggressive, taking field goals, punting the ball, not going for it on 4th and shorts. And he could have ended this game.
Another thing, Jimmy G has those moments where 80% of the time you're like, okay, I see why people think this 49ers team is a Super Bowl contender. And then he comes out and you're like, has this guy ever thrown a football before? And that's what happened on the interception. He missed Brandon Ayuk. Like
Ayuk turned Diggs around 6 times and was wide open. And
he was on the super duper looper at Hershey Park.
Literally.
And Jimmy G has missed him. Like, this game probably shouldn't even have been close. And it just makes you think, like, you couldn't handle that. Aaron Rodgers in 2 weeks was definitely not missing those throws. Like,
no.
That wouldn't even have been close if you're dealing with Tom Brady next week or Aaron Rodgers the following week. Like, that game is 30-7 going into the fourth quarter, if not worse.
It really infuriates me. I wanna pull up a tweet. I'm trying to figure out how to do this on my. All right, so like I was saying, this game was not lost on the final play of the game. This game was obviously lost early on that first drive, but then they clawed their way back into the game. They kept it close, right? But the Cowboys got the ball back with 2 minutes and 52 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning, no Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner on the field. Down 6.
Yeah.
And they didn't score. And let's not even here. Beyond the 252, okay? Look at this.
So you're on the plus side of the 50 with about 3 minutes left, 1st and 10, 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning, like you said.
Look at that.
And you don't score.
You're on the plus 46, 229, 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning, 1st and 10. They got nothing out of this. So this play, I don't know if you remember, they got about 3 yards, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then they rushed another play to get a playoff just for no reason before the 2-minute warning. And then it was 3rd and long coming out of the 2-minute warning instead of 2nd down. Just like, again, like 7 seconds in that situation isn't that important. It's 2nd down. You have all 3 timeouts. You're now going into the 2-minute warning. Collect yourself. Come out with your best play out of the 2-minute warning. Like, just compose yourself. All you need is a touchdown here, and you probably win this game.
Time management, game management, attention to detail. Like, every example we keep giving, like, it goes back to the same thing of just under this spectrum of just having talent and not utilizing it in the right way because strategically you're just not there. And that's the perfect example right there. It's just like another team would realize you got 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Like, you've got the time.
Yeah, you have time. Like,
if anything, you're by trying to rush that, you're leaving time for the 49ers to go back down the other way.
Because if you do score, well, chances are Zerline would miss the extra point and you're tied anyway. But even if you score and go, then you're only up 1. All they need is a field goal. All they need is one Deebo break, and they're in field goal range.
Yeah.
So,
which is how they got into the playoffs to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They were down by a touchdown and went the length of the field in a minute and a half to score against the Rams the week before.
So it's funny. Like, everybody now is like, oh, maybe we should have wanted the Cardinals. Look what happened against the Rams. Cardinals would have beat them too. Again, I think Kyler Murray, when he comes to AT&T Stadium and plays against the Cowboys, something happens. I don't know if maybe the Cowboys should trade for him because then he can play there all the time. I don't know, but he dominates there. This team they're frauds. They're frauds. And I tweeted you, or I text you on Wednesday saying, what did I say? Do you remember what I said? I said, I hate this matchup. I think the Cowboys are in big trouble.
And I agreed with you because I love this 49ers team. And within the first 5 minutes of the game, I was like, yep, that was what I thought.
They punched him right in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Punched him right in the mouth.
And they're a team that's going to punch you in the mouth.
Yeah. And the Cowboys think they're a big physical team. McCarthy's always like, yeah, when we get off the bus, we're not a finesse team. We're a big Are you, though? Like, some players are. Micah is. Jalen Hurts is. DeMarcus Lawrence is. But, Diggs doesn't tackle.
Also, the offensive line just got bullied.
Kyle Biotish looks terrified out there at center.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified.
I mean, they were literally like tackling guys. Like Arden Key, and like even when Bosa was in the game for the time that he was in the game, like they were just like flailing, like they were like hanging on to the 49ers front four for dear life, so they didn't kill Dak.
I mean, Tyron didn't look. I think we can officially say. I mean, Tyron is still a very good left tackle. He's no longer an elite left tackle in this league. He's not. He's injured. He's getting older. I honestly would not. It would not surprise me if he retired this offseason.
Oh, the questions and decisions that you have to make this offseason.
And the Cowboys, the amount that this team, they're going to lose their defensive coordinator, probably going to lose their offensive coordinator. Does that mean other guys go? Like Arden, their British defensive line coach, could go with Quinn. They have a litany of free agents. Like, this team is not going to be close to the same team, especially defensively. You just think of some of the guys. Randy Gregory, free agent. Jaron Curse, free agent. Leighton Vander Esch, free agent. Hooker, free agent. KZ, free agent. Keanu O'Neal, free agent. Their Pro Bowl punter, free agent. But we still have Zeke, that would be a $30 million dead cap hit if they walked away from him right now. $30 million.
Who, again, just game management, player management, strategy, tore his PCL week 4 against the Panthers.
What are we doing?
They just kept running him into the ground. Like, it's just like common sense stuff. It's just like, what are you doing?
Oh, he got 6 touches in this game. 6. I was looking across the field, watching Deebo Samuel. I'm like, the Cowboys have a guy that runs similar to that, and he's on the bench.
Oh, I love it. What a stupid team. Just no common sense.
I'm like, get me off this fucking team now. Like, send me somewhere.
No attention to detail. Oh, I love it. And it never changes. It never changes. Down to the design of the goddamn stadium makes no sense. Like that is what's fun. That is just like, it was the perfect Cowboys game where you go in and you're like, look at all the talent on the Cowboys side. And then they come in and they fuck up 14 times. They get so many penalties. They run one of the dumbest plays that they say that they practice, even though they didn't know that the ref had to spot the ball and clearly didn't know it. And then you got you got the fans crying in a wild card round game. What were they going to do in an NFC championship? They're crying with 7 minutes left in a wild card round.
I hate my fans.
Oh, it was fantastic. They're bawling their eyes out.
But one fucking girl, I thought it was a Kardashian. I'm like, what the fuck are the Kardashians doing in this game? The girl's crying. They're all just like, you're clowns. Stop dressing up with the big stars going to the game. Like, stop it. And I am officially here. I tweeted it. I do not want to hear about ratings again with this fucking team. I don't care. I don't care that this was the most watched game of the year and the Thanksgiving game. And they have the top 2 most watched games of the year. And they have 5 of the top 10. Who gives a fuck? Win something. Do something. It's been 27 years since you won a championship.
I have results from multiple sports.
No, you don't. Okay? It's been 27 years since you put a fucking year on this banner, okay? 3 playoff wins since 1996. 3. Nick Foles had 4 in 1 year. 1 year. Mark Sanchez has more than the whole fucking franchise does. 11 playoffs in a row without reaching the conference championship. Longest streak in the history of the NFL for any team. You have the Dez fucking drops it.
Yeah.
You have Romo drops the snap.
Yeah.
Now you have Dak ran out of fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, it's always something.
It's awesome. It's great.
Something.
It's that they're
like
just
literally there is a generation. And you two motherfuckers are in this generation that have never seen the Cowboys be elite.
that's why I hate them so much. That's why I've despised them because I've never seen them be
don't
good.
know what it was. And it was
I've
awesome.
I've spent my entire life being told that they are this elite, just creme de la creme, better than everybody else, and it just hasn't happened my entire life. And like it was epitomized on Sunday night, and it was just perfect. Everything about it was perfect. The sunlight blinding their own players was perfect. The fans crying with like 6 minutes left.
Cedric Wilson, free agent.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup, free agent.
I'll take both. It was perfect. It was genuinely a perfect loss. It embodied everything that the Cowboys are and everything they are not. It is showtime entertainment. It is not quality wins.
They are Jackie Moon. The Cowboys are Jackie Moon.
Great.
They think they're so much better than they are, and fucking Jerry's sitting there. Everybody loves somebody.
And Jackie Moon was all about getting fans in seats, having people pay attention, like making sure that his team was valuable. That's what the Cowboys are. It is entertainment. They should sign a deal with HBO and do Hard Knocks every year. They're HBO. They're not CBS. They're not NBC. They're not Fox. They're not ready for that moment. They are HBO.
I'm not even mad. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm numb. Like I expected this. But yet I get my hopes. It's that I don't know if you saw. There's like different tweets going around with the star in the middle. It's like I get my hopes up. I hate them. I get disappointed, but then I get my hopes up again, and then they suck. It's like, and I do that, even though like I went into this game logically saying, I think they're going to lose this game, but an hour before kickoff, I'm like, I got butterflies. I'm like, all right, and in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my god, all right, maybe they can win this game. I think they can beat Tampa. Oh my god, maybe they will get to the Super Bowl. Oh my god, maybe they will win the Super Bowl this year, a month before I'm going to have a kid, and it's just going to be perfect. And then fucking no.
Nope.
Again.
Listen, this is always next year.
No, there's not. It's not this our year. I will not believe in this team until they're holding the fucking trophy.
You guys aren't them boys anymore?
Please, you know me. I will have fun with it. I love my team. I will always be a fan of this team. I will always cover this team. I will always be balls deep in this team. But I will never get overexcited ever again. Because they're just I think they're going to win 7 or 8 games next year. Yeah, keep laughing.
You being balls deep in the Cowboys doesn't excite you?
Nope, not anymore. Limp dick. That's what they do to me.
This has gone even better than I imagined when I sat down to record tonight.
Mm-hmm. See, aren't you happy we didn't record last night? I would have been a miserable fuck. None of this would have happened.
I feel like that would have been a lot of fun.
No, I just would have been quiet and said nothing.
We've had these little skits planned out for a few days. I was really excited to go.
I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. And I don't think, and you say Jerry's going to live forever. Yeah. You know why Jerry's going to live forever? Because Steven's running this team, not Jerry. If it was Jerry's call right now, McCarthy would be gone. He'd be fucking getting big time free agents. This is Stephen Jones's Cowboys. Mike McCarthy is Stephen Jones's boy. He's the one who's talking Jerry out of firing him. And why he's the reason he's still here.
Nothing's better to me than when Jerry Jones, who's the only owner who gives like a press conference after the game, maybe Jim Irsay does, but he always gives and nothing's better than his I'm disappointed in the result press conference, and like everyone on the team should watch the back. And then they're like, Mike McCarthy, what happened? He's like, oh, wow. He's just like bumbles through his words, like, oh, I don't know. Like, oh, man, I thought the refs should let them play. And it's just like that combination right there is just beautiful because it's just like you got the owner saying how disappointed you are, then you got the head coach who's just a dunce.
Did you see, Vince, can you pull up real quick? I tweeted it from Birds vs. Boys. The fans that snuck in.
Yes. Which is hilarious.
How does that happen?
That happened to an Eagles press conference. They asked Doug Peterson a question. I don't know. I took a tour of the stadium for the Eagles. I'm sure it's very similar.
I've taken the tour of Dallas. I've been in this room.
They the press conference room is like not close to where
the Can you click on it and play it with the audio or no?
Situation, and that's
The reporters were asking questions, so I decided to ask my own.
the ref sort of got to the ball late at the end. Do you think you should have tried to look for him first, if possible? No, I mean, as I said, that's something that we practice over and over. You watch around the league.
Just a kid.
The center spots the ball. The ref just comes in.
He's reading it off his phone.
That's the process of operation, not only for us, but for any team in that situation, and that happens week in and week out.
I had to ask a second question.
How were the Cowboys able to turn the game around after it looked like you had no answers for the 49ers?
It's just
How were the Cowboys able to turn the
unbelievable.
game around after it looked like there were no answers? Yeah, I mean, credit to the defense. Defense obviously got a turnover there.
The first one was a really solid question. The second one was you're starting to get like, okay, that guy does not have a journalism degree.
And I would like to also address something. Cowboys fans. I'm gonna stop for this one. You can no longer talk about Eagles fans throwing snowballs at Santa or being mean or throwing batteries or anything ever again because you fucking clowns that were at that game that were throwing stuff at the refs or at DeMarcus Lawrence, who literally had to bat a water bottle away with his helmet. You are trash, and you are everything you make fun of the Philadelphia fan base to be. And listen, I hate the Philadelphia fan base. I have to live amongst these fucking people. They're terrible humans. I'm married to one. But you cannot use that ever again after what happened on Sunday. I'm sorry.
Classless organization, classless fans. It was despicable. It would never happen around here. We would never treat our players that way. We would just boo the shit out of them when they do something wrong. We would never throw beers like that. Because beers are $9 at that stadium, and it's too expensive to throw those.
Exactly. I'm done. We have a lot to look forward to next week moving forward, what the Cowboys are going to do, coaching staff wise. I told you they have a litany of free agents I want to go through with you next week. Guys I would like to come back, guys I think that are gone. And then once that happens, we can start focusing on our draft prospects. But they're dead. That's it. They're dead.
Great episode 100. I couldn't have had a better time. I had a great time. This was fantastic.
It actually felt good to get it out.
Yeah. I feel like I told you before. I feel like the therapist that talks to the other therapists in The Sopranos. That's how I feel. This was fantastic. I had a great time. I forgot the Eagles lost.
Should we TikTok quick before we get out of here?
Let's do it.
Go cry.
I might cry of laughter. I legitimately, when I at the end of that game when he slid, I legit cried from laughter. I FaceTime. I was laughing so hard.
Oh yeah, I know you FaceTime me.
I had a great time.
I was like, he fucking tackled him. I just
didn't know the rules. Practiced it every week, they say, and didn't realize that they had to hand the ball to the ref. Didn't realize.
I understand. Like, I saw people tweeting too. They're like, the ref was out of position. He's supposed to be in the last 2 minutes on the defense. I'm like, no, they stopped doing that years ago, like 5 years ago.
And also,
but that should be, I feel like, somebody else's job.
Try not to have your season come to the position of an official and how many yards away from the ball he is and how fast he runs his 40-yard dash.
You know what I was thinking? It's like, I wonder if too, like Dak or somebody on the coaching staff could like alert the officials. Like, yo, this is what we're doing. So just because like all of a sudden the refs like, oh shit, like maybe if they knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a thing or if,
I
but
think
like
you can, because I watched a video before. Ironically, Kyle Shanahan was like, he called the ref and he's like, this is the play we're about to run. Kittle's about to do this. They're going to hold him when he does it. And that exact thing happened. Kittle runs his route. It's like an out and up. Guy grabs onto him. Ref throws the penalty. And Shanahan's like, yep, they saw that. Like literally told him what was about to happen. They called
and
the
it was
penalty.
it was also close. I don't know if you saw the one defender that came in as Dak was sliding just slammed into his head. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine
If they got a
if they would have
15-yard
got
penalty?
one play with a 15-yard penalty?
Mm-hmm. At that point, you'd be like half the distance of the goal anyways.
And they I think I'm probably happier it ended the way it did, because if they got one shot and then CD dropped it in the end zone or something, it just would have been worse. Dalton Schultz, free agent.
I don't think it could have ended worse. I think that was the perfect ending. I thought Randy Gregory holding for no reason was the perfect ending, considering how undisciplined this
He's a
team
free
was.
agent.
Free agent. I think that was a better ending. I could not have scripted a better ending. That was fantastic.
Connor Williams, free agent. Good though. Brant Urban, free agent.
Hey,
Welcome, Vince.
almost fell asleep there.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for the TikTok?
Yeah, real quick though. On Sunday, my girlfriend was coming home from a work trip, and she was supposed to land at like 3:00. She was like, "Look, we got to go grocery shopping," and I was like, "We got to wait till the game's over." And I had said this that morning. She's like, "Okay, fine, we'll wait till the game's over." She landed, got home, third quarter. I was like, "We can go grocery shopping right now. We don't got to wait. It's fine."
So you missed it?
The Eagles game?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Cowboys game.
No, I missed the riveting third and fourth quarter of the Eagles game.
Well, hey, that's when we scored.
Well, yeah. So we get to Target. There's a bar across the street from it, like 19th and Chestnut in Philly. I forget what bar it was. I hear everyone screaming, and I was like, I did not miss the most miraculous comeback of all time, did I? And I opened my phone. I was like, they scored a touchdown. One. It's like, what are we screaming for?
That.
Yeah. Didn't get shut out.
That was my
what are we
week.
TikToking?
We are doing top 3 potential Super Bowl matchups.
I was trying to do the math. There's 16 potential matchups, I think.
Yeah, my brain can't handle that.
Yeah,
just like the Cowboys can't handle how many seconds it takes to run a QB draw with no timeouts.
Yep.
You need 16 seconds, not 14. Did you realize that they actually did get that playoff? It's just that on the play they spiked the ball, which somehow makes it even funny.
I know. So I don't know if like I saw the whole Dan Orlovsky thing, like 911. Did you see that?
No, I saw it somewhere.
So he was saying once that happened, like you saw the clock rolling down, and that they might not have a chance, that Dak was supposed to be going 911, 911, and in that instance snap the ball, and everyone's just supposed to go and run the play, because they probably would have gotten at least a play off.
Yeah, I think you would have caught the 49ers defense flat-footed because they're expecting the spike.
Yep.
But yeah, that somehow makes it even funnier. You could not have scripted a more perfect loss.
Okay, let's go.
Everything about it is funny.
Continue.
All right.
Joke.
At 3, I have Chiefs versus Bucks. I think after this roller coaster season, I think it'd be really funny if we just ended up with the same 2 teams from last year in a rematch. So at 3, I have Chiefs versus Bucks.
At 3, I have the Bills versus the Packers. I think what the Bills did to the Patriots just emasculated them. They didn't have one negative play in that game. They're throwing dildos on the field. Josh Allen is a wagon. This team is just a lot of fun. I would love to see them in the Super Bowl this year. And I mean, the Packers are the Packers. I need to see Aaron Rodgers in a Super Bowl again.
So I'm starting number 16. My least favorite option. The only one I don't want to see is Titans versus the 49ers. I just can't imagine a more boring game than the Titans versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Just nothing sounds less appealing than watching that on not February 3rd anymore, whatever the hell the 13th. Super Bowl is, February 13th. Nothing sounds more boring than Titans versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
They played once. Thursday Night Football. Wasn't awful.
Nope.
But
it's not a Super Bowl matchup.
No, it's not. At 2, I have Bengals versus Packers. I think it'd be really cool. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, new age, new kids on the block versus Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Almost like a passing of the torch kind of moment, maybe if the Bengals win. So I've got Bengals versus Packers at 2.
2, I have Bengals versus Packers because I think the new age versus the old age would be perfect. It's like last dance versus first dance type thing. It would just be beautiful.
Number 2, I have Chiefs versus Bucks. Like Aidan said, it'd be funny if after all this chaos and this weird season, we just got the same matchup again. We just got the Warriors and the Cavs again. But, you know, I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be good to get everything back to normal. You know, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Let's not change anything up. Just keep it nice. Keep it nice and normal.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
All right, and then at 1, I have Bills versus Bucks. Tom Brady has owned the Buffalo Bills franchise forever. This could be the coming-of-age moment for Josh Allen, and the Bills in the city of Buffalo finally gets their title after they lost 4 straight, and who better to do it against Tom Brady? Or Tom Brady just cements that he is the GOAT, he is the king, he is the supreme ruler. I can't think of a better just storyline matchup.
1 for me, it's Chiefs versus Packers. I think 2 of obviously the best offenses in the league. You could also make this Chiefs-Rams. I don't care. I think both those matchups would be phenomenal. But you get Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers on the same field together. We didn't get to see that this year, correct? Because of COVID. We were supposed to see that game. We never got that game. So I think somehow the State Farm game is going to be the Super Bowl. Patrick Price or the Rodgers rate.
Don't call me for either one.
Yeah, how excited are you for that?
All I think about when I watch those commercials is how much more they could be paying me if they weren't paying those schmucks.
Will you go to the Super Bowl if that's the matchup? You think they'll send you?
They might send my boss out. Not me. I'll be at work Monday morning like nothing happened.
You might get an email. Congratulations. Rodgers rate 1.
We literally would get an email like, guys, look at all these crazy things we have happening. Also, shut the fuck up and do your job for today. Nothing changes for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 1, I have the Bengals versus anyone. I don't care. I want to see Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. I want to see Joe Burrow win a Super Bowl. I want to see Jamar Chase win a Super Bowl. I think that they're probably the most fun team left in the playoffs right now. There's no more team in the NFL right now that might be more fun than the Bengals.
I want to see Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow in the White House.
Oh yeah.
They need to find that lady too.
I want to see the national championship Super Bowl edits.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
The mash of it, like he comes in smoking the cigar, Joe Burrow. Imagine like that, but then they morph him into his Bengals jersey and he's smoking the cigar. Walking in.
Imagine how fat of a cigar he would get after winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, he'd get
He'd get like
that shit.
He'd get like an old time Tommy cigar that's like this.
Yeah, he should smoke 2, 1 for the national championship, 1 for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, just like I'm the king now.
Love it. All right, Vincent. Thank you very much. I would like to do one last quick thank you, and that goes to Micah Parsons. Thank you for making the season fun. You were everything I hoped you would be times a billion. I can't wait to see you next year. You made this year fun. I love you.
Love you too, Micah. But also, I had such a fun time recording this episode. What a loss. What a stinging, painful loss. Couldn't imagine going through something like that. Oh, well, always next year.
Yeah. Well, you sign us off. I can't do it.
All right. 100 episodes in. Thank you to everybody who has listened or watched from last year to this year for these past 2 seasons. Maybe one time, maybe episode 200, we talk about winning a playoff game. I don't know. Cowboys seem to have a lot of free agents, a stadium that they built backwards, a quarterback who slides down with 2 seconds left and no timeouts.
The Eagles have a quarterback who can't read.
He can't read. Listen. We got fans throwing beer bottles. I don't know. Listen, they could protest.
Eagles have to play against Carson Wentz next year.
That will be hilarious. A lot of good things coming. So 100 in, 1 million episodes to go. Thank you to everybody who interacted on social media, who listened, who watched the TikToks, who comment on the TikToks, all of it. We greatly appreciate it. This was a great episode to have for 100, even though that we lost. There was tons of content and tons more to come for the off season. We love the draft. We love free agency. We love the schedule. We'll have it all. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, Mike McCarthy, what is it that you do here?
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upside alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That is
the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.